Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. This is Newsmakers, and I'm Mike Briggs. We've been coming to you every year for about 13 years, talking about the news and talking to people in the news and people who make the news. Oh my gosh, there's so much news today. We had a recall election. How'd that turn out? We have COVID going around. We have a county full of issues and problems and successes. We have a special guest, Fresno County Supervisor Buddy Mendes. Welcome, Supervisor.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Tell me, you're which district in the
District 4, my district base goes from Orange Cove all the way through Huron, Kalinga, all the way to Monterey County.
All the way over there.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I feel you go out there just a little east of Orange Cove, and that's the most beautiful area around. So
yes.
Really, it's the mountains as they go
right.
up like that. Now, about how many? Now, there's 5 supervisors.
5 supervisors, and we roughly have about 200,000 constituents.
About 200,000 in each district.
Yeah, in each district.
You could get 200,000 calls if you're.
Right, and I have 9 cities and 9 unincorporated communities.
Wow. And some supervisors have 1 city.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a lot. So you have a lot.
Yeah.
And you have to travel a lot.
I have to travel. In fact, Kalinga and Orange Cove are 100 miles apart.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but I happen to live right in between them, in Riverdale. Yeah,
perfect. Now, here's something I talk to people about this all the time. We have, of course, the federal government covers the whole country. State government is California, county government. Then we have city government. But anybody that's in the city of Fresno, for example, they're in the county as well.
Right, because there's county islands. You know, Mayfair, Fig Garden. There's a lot of county islands. Now, here's one thing the county actually does a lot of things that the city doesn't do. Okay, the district attorney, that's an elected position, but she works under the county. The sheriff has 3 different jobs. The sheriff is a county position. The sheriff has to, patrol the unincorporated areas. The sheriff has to take care of the jail. The jail's a county facility, and they're also the coroner.
Right.
So they've got those 3 deals. Then we have the auditor controller who manages the money and actually collects the tax money, the property tax money. But now the property tax money, the county doesn't keep it.
Right.
We keep about 13.5% because we're a low pre-Proposition 13 county, low tax county. Yeah. Higher tax counties keep about 22-23%.
Where's the rest of it go?
That all goes to the state. And actually, the schools get a higher percentage of the property tax in the county, even though the county collects the money.
Now, and I don't want to get too into this complication, but the state gets the lion's share of our property tax money.
Right.
And then they get their state income tax.
Right.
And then they pass these taxes on our vehicle licenses and stuff like
Correct.
that. Yeah.
We get some of that back. It's almost, government is actually, Mike, the purest form of organized crime. And if you look at the hierarchy, the counties are just the low-level goombas on the ground, shaking the people down and getting their money.
Right. Now, what about the health system? Does that fall under the county?
No, but the health department is part of the county. Okay. And then actually the county used to have a county hospital. Right. They actually made a contract with CRMC, and now they moved everything over to both their facilities, one here in Fresno and one in Clovis.
Yeah, you guys used to run the county hospital.
That's right. In the old days, we used to run the county hospital.
Now, when it comes, well, let's go backwards. I want to touch on the big news. There's a recall election. I guess Gray Davis did not get Gavin Newsom. I guess Gavin Newsom did not get recalled.
Yeah, it's deja vu all over again, but this time Newsom survives.
Yeah.
Survived pretty well. This was kind of an interesting deal. There's no truth in political advertising. We always got to remember, no truth.
No truth, yeah.
This recall was actually a miracle that it even got on the ballot, because they had to run off of the 2020 numbers of that election. So the recall people had to go out and get, I think, was it 2.2 million signatures?
To get it on the ballot.
Get it on the ballot. Did it with no money, which never happens here in California.
Grassroots.
So the big money was behind Newsom. I think he had $80 million. And
boy.
did everybody combined, did they even have 10?
No.
No, they didn't even have 10. So you an eighth of that.
Yeah.
So when Newsom comes and says the big money Republicans,
Right.
they weren't in this race. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Now Newsom wasn't conciliatory after. He didn't say, "Okay, I made some mistakes and I'm sorry now. Thanks for not recalling." But he's got a mandate behind him.
Oh yeah, and I'm on what's called the counties all belong to a state organization called CSAC.
Right.
And I'm the rep for Fresno County. I'm also Fresno County is considered an urban county, not a suburban, not a rural county. It's considered an urban county, and I'm actually the vice chair of the Urban County Caucus.
Okay, so you're in with LA and San Francisco.
Right, exactly. So over at the beginning of the pandemic, I was in a lot of, and they were Zoom meetings with, and Newsom was never there.
Right.
He did a couple of times with the president of CSAC, but never the group. And we really met with his top staff, and I was shocked at the low-quality people he actually has running this government. And I've got a quote, Mike, and nobody's ever answered this question. Tell me something the state of California does right, and you can't use a double negative either.
Okay. DMV, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
Our roads,
right? And then they're talking about we spent $200 million on this recall.
Right.
I want to know what the hell happened to the $30 billion that got stolen from the state through the not the DMV, but it was stolen from the our unemployment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that?
Where'd that all go
$30
to?
billion go?
Right.
Nobody seems to be concerned about that. All of a sudden, the media is making all kinds of noise about $200 million recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to that other $30 billion? You don't care about that?
Right. So Newsom's there for about another year and a half, I think.
Correct.
And that's behind us. Recall is behind us. Is COVID behind us?
COVID's never going to go away, Mike. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think we have got to the high tide of this of the Delta variant.
Yeah.
This stuff comes in waves. If you look at how it gets there, usually comes through the metropolitan areas, LA, San Francisco, and eventually gets here. So it'll affect those areas first, and then kind of affect us. I'll tell you kind of an interesting story, and this is about masks.
Okay.
Hey, if you want to wear masks, I'm fine. I don't want to. If you're a business, you want to say everybody comes in here has to wear a mask. I don't have a problem with that. That's your business. You need to run it the way you feel you need to run it. But if masks were so great, Sacramento County 2 months ago had a very restricted mask mandate.
Right.
Okay. Their effective rate isn't any lower than ours.
Right.
2 months later.
Right.
So, okay, there's all kinds of analytical, hey, here's why masks work.
Mm-hmm.
But in the field, in practice, that's the best way of looking at this.
That's how you test it.
It's how you test it.
Yeah, you have a control group, the group who all wore masks, Sacramento County. And
to really be effective, you have to wear either N95 masks that are perfect, that are fitted correctly, or we need to be like Darth Vader in Star Wars.
Yeah.
We got or a BA. I don't know if the fire people have to wear, to go into a burning building.
Well, I found here in the Tower District, and you don't represent any of the Tower,
No.
but everyone wants to hug all the time, and they're all close and chummy. Sometimes I feel like the mask told people, stay away from me. So I don't want to hug. I don't need to hug people and get the COVID right now. But the hospitals were full, and they're kind of tapering off.
Right. I wouldn't say they're tapering off yet, because this actually takes days.
Okay.
Now, I'm just saying the infection rate is peaked. It's just peaked, so we won't see the hospital numbers go down for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, here's the problem with hospitals. The biggest problem, it's personnel. They're short of people. And last time, at the beginning of the pandemic, when it really hit hard, 2 things were going on. Number one, they had quit doing elective surgeries. Now that they just started quitting to do them.
Right.
And the state and federal government had traveling nurses and doctors that they had together to go throw at areas when the infection rates come up. What happened this time? They have no people.
They were proactive before, but
Not today.
Already, yeah.
Not today.
yeah. And there's going to be another wave probably down the road.
Right. There'll be a new variant, and I predict within 6 to 8 months there'll be a new one coming in. It'll come in through San Francisco and LA and eventually get here.
What about vaccines? What's the county recommending?
Well, we're still saying get them. I've got mine. I'm 65, Mike. I'm in that deal where you should be vaccinated. But I'm not going to tell somebody they need to be vaccinated. That's their choice.
Yeah.
That's your body. You should be able to decide. But there's a lot of stuff now where people are saying, well, maybe if you don't get vaccinated, you shouldn't get help. Nobody should treat you. That's kind of BS. Here's another thing about vaccines. I kind of get to talk to Dr. Vore all the time.
Yeah, the county guy. The head
Right,
guy in the county,
and really this is not a true vaccine. A true vaccine is the one we have for smallpox and polio.
It wipes it out.
Wipes it out.
Yeah.
But all this is you're inoculated to keep you from possibly going into the hospital.
Right.
You're going to get it, you're going to pass it on, but it's not going to stop it.
Right.
Different deal.
Yeah. Vaccine inoculation, I get that now.
Yeah.
How did your district or the county fare through? I mean, we shut businesses down for a year. Are you recovering?
Yeah, we're recovering. One of the things we did is, and we did it with the schools about a month ago. Schools were starting to open up, and we decided that we were going to get, excuse me, we're going to get out of the triangle. And I call the triangle is us, the schools, and the state.
Right.
There's a triangle there. Let's get out of the triangle. So we basically empowered the schools to do what the local school boards wanted to do, and they answer direct to the states. A lot of people forget schools are an arm of the state.
Part of the state.
So we cut ourselves off of it, said, hey, you need help, we're glad to help you.
And every school district has its own board of elected officials.
Correct.
You're a board of elected officials,
Right.
but why not let those parents and the school board decide for each school?
Right, and that's what we decided to do. We passed that resolution. As soon as we did that, we haven't got one complaint.
Some schools are out in the country and everybody's spread out, and they're all from farms, and others are from tight urban areas, or people are stacked on top of each other. They don't need the same rules, so
Right.
let the school board
Right.
handle it
In fact, I
themselves.
came from, I spent 22 years on Riverdale Unified's board. Riverdale Unified's has about 1,800 students, but it's one of the bigger school districts in the state of California.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it goes from east of Highway 41, actually touches I-5.
Big in area.
Big in area.
1,800 students? Or?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And you did years and years on that board.
22 years.
So you know schools.
Yes.
Good for you. Okay, I don't want to keep you too long. Supervisor Buddy Mendes is busy. They're running the whole county, just 5 supervisors. What are their big issues? What do you want our viewers to know you're doing right now?
Well, we just passed the budget. Years ago they would do a whole week of hearings. We've kind of changed that where the CAO's office kind of comes up with the budget. They work with the departments. You can work with the CAO, for about a 2-week period, and then we have an actual hearing, and the hearing lasted 60 minutes.
60 minutes. But anybody
Yeah.
in the public could come and comment or
Exactly.
have a comment on the budget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very
Non-controversial,
right?
not contentious
Non-controversial. Did that. I mean, we've got all kinds of things going on. We've got a lot of building projects. We're doing the substation right now, Area 2. We've got animal control building that's coming up. We're going to do the ribbon cutting for the Rao building, which is the headquarters for the district attorney's office.
Oh, they're getting the whole building. That's nice.
Yeah, they get the
That's
whole
good.
building.
It's a beautiful building.
Yeah.
The county's taking a role in preserving some buildings in Fresno.
That's right. It was actually the developer took that building, gutted it completely, where you could be standing on the bottom floor, look at the top floor, the ceiling on the top of the building, completely rebuilt it, and it's an ultra-modern building, but it still looks like the old
Still looks
Rao
like the old
building.
Rao building. That's
Yeah.
great. Anyway, Supervisor Buddy Mendes, can our viewers contact you?
Sure they can. Our office number is 600-4000.
604,000. I got it memorized already. And you guys meet every week almost?
No, about every 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks. But we serve on a lot of boards. I serve on 18 boards and
Yeah.
commissions on top. In fact, I have an air pollution control district board meeting tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
And I've been on that for 7 years.
Okay. What would we contact you to complain about? I don't have anything that the county does. Maybe the jail. I want a nicer jail cell or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, our county supervisor, board of supervisors, has a great tradition, a great history. They've always done a good job. And just like I say, buying old buildings and restoring them instead of always building new palaces or new memorials to yourselves and things like that. So
We
appreciate
did
that.
consolidate the social service division. Social service division is the biggest division in the county. There's 4,200 employees.
Yeah.
But at the county level is where the great welfare state, the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
Because we do all the programs for the state and federal.
Right, you have to do the programs.
We
locally
have to
here.
run the
Yeah.
programs for
Yeah.
them.
And it's a lot. You interact, not you, but your social services interacts with a lot of
Right,
people.
and their headquarters is at the old Palco buildings.
Yeah.
They're going to be occupying 3 of the buildings.
Good. That was a big complex out there. I'm
That
glad
is.
that you guys got out there.
But there's 4,200 workers though that work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, real quick, mental health, that falls under the county.
Yes, it does, and that's always a work in progress. I mean, things have changed so much in the state. That's one of the reasons it started during the time Reagan.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Reagan that did
Everybody
that.
says
the
that, though.
courts said they couldn't confine these people anymore.
Yeah,
So the state, in fact, you were in the assembly
Yeah.
in the 90s, and you got some of the residual from that time.
Again, these people aren't criminals, they're ill.
Very ill.
So very ill, some of them very ill, and maybe need some more help, but your hands are tied.
Right.
And homelessness, any thoughts?
That's a work in progress. That's something, when politicians say, I'm going to cure homeless, they're liars. That's never going to
It's
happen.
rhetoric, yeah.
Right. All they can do is try to get the people that want services.
Right.
And it's changed a little bit. So the pandemic changed that a little bit. You know, in pre-pandemic, we cleaned up a homeless encampment out in Mendota, out in the country, next to the city.
Yeah.
And there was 63 people that were there. 3 of them accepted services.
3 of them, yeah. That's
The
thing.
rest of them moved.
They're not
Yeah.
accepting services.
Right.
So, anyway, Supervisor Buddy Mendes, you come here more than any other supervisor, and we appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Mike.
People in the valley don't always know what our county supervisors are doing, and we want to give that opportunity for you to come
Yeah,
on here
and it's a
let us know.
complicated deal what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very simple.
Real
you know.
quick before we're out of time, tell us some of the boards you're on.
Okay, I'm on 4 groundwater stabilization boards. 2 of them is full-time and the other 2 is alternates. I'm on so many.
You're at the air pollution?
Air Pollution Control District. I'm on CSAC, a couple of deals on CSAC. I'm on, the county has 2 board members on what's called Selma Kingsburg Fowler Sanitation District, SKF.
Also, somebody's on transportation.
And I'm
Authority.
the head of the transfer. I'm the chairman of the
Oh, good for you.
Transportation
That's an important
Authority.
job. there.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
good. So anybody who thinks these supervisors only work 1 day every other week, they don't. They're full time, more than full time.
Plus, I still farm 1,500 acres with
1,500
my
acres,
boys,
yeah.
and we're busy all the time over there.
That's great. Last thoughts for our viewers?
No, I never quit working.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk. Newsmakers. Our guest today has been Buddy Mendes, supervisor, one of the 5 supervisors for Fresno County. We'll be back with more right after this.